Good day, my viewers. I hope you are enjoying your day. Just another wonderful day to have one-on-one talk with you once again on Forex. Last weekend, we made predictions on Forex concerning the long term, the medium term, and the short term view, short term analysis, prediction on US dollar. Now, today is just the starting up of the week, and I know you're really grabbing up for something. You want to place your hands on something so that you know which direction you are going to trade. I'm not going to give you anything so different from what I've given you before because the market is actually following a very particular, straightforward pattern. So let's look at what we have today on US dollar prediction. Where is the US dollar going this week? Where is it going in the short term? Where is it going in the medium term? And where is it going in the long run? Okay, here on the board, I have the Euro USD 4 hours charts. This is just a sketch of what is happening right now in the market. The market stopped at 1.17016 as the price of Euro USD. So we're going to use this Euro USD as a kind of where we're just going to lay hands on to know what's going to happen to the US dollar. Whatever that is happening, the Euro USD will definitely happen GBP USD or the USD. And the reverse will happen in USD CAD, USD JPY, and USD CHF. So let's go. Here, previously, I gave you this about 3 weeks ago, something like that. I gave you this particular chart on H4 4 hours Euro USD chart. So I told you previously that there is a kind of change in trend somewhere here where this particular trend broke this low and this low. Okay, it broke two conspicuous lows and went up and began to oscillate. Okay, it didn't actually pass. It just tested this other block, this particular price. When it tested the price, it started coming down. And this H4, the 4 hours chart, represents the medium term direction where the Euro USD is heading in the medium term. Where is it going to head in the medium term? Okay, so we predicted that it's going to give us a sell. So because of this change in direction and this oscillation, it began to come down. It began to come down, and I believe strongly that this trend, even if it goes up, will never get to that point. This price. Okay, it's not going to go so far away from this particular price, 1.17016, before it begins to come down. So I believe in the medium term, that the Euro USD will still climb, will still come down very, very well. It's going to come down, it's going to break this low, it's going to continue to break some other conspicuous lows. All right, now that said, let's look at the near-term prediction for the Euro USD. That will help us to know the near-term prediction for the US dollar. The near-term prediction for the Euro USD, we are going to use the 5-minute chart. Now, in the 5-minute chart, presently, price is at 1.1706. Exactly what is happening there is what is happening in the 4 hours. That's the same price that they are on. Now, right now, this is on a downtrend. Now, it has begin to come up. It is coming up, okay, and it stopped at 1.1706 as the price of Euro USD. Now, I'm expecting this, if it really wants to buy, if it really wants to go on a long position, that is upward movement, I'm expecting this current price to break 1.17530. 530. Yeah, I'm expecting it to break this price because that is where we have some kind of resistance, okay? We have some kind of resistance. And that is where this price is, this particular price, this low is at this price. Sorry, this lower high is exactly at this price. So I'm expecting this, this instrument, Euro USD, to break this lower high. When it breaks this lower, that means it has broken two conspicuous lows. There are two conspicuous lows there. It needs to break this, it needs to break this. And when it breaks it, okay, I'm expecting somehow, if it actually wants to take up a great momentum to move up further, it's going to stall down a little first before finally moving up. So if it breaks this, if it breaks this price, it may stall a little before going up. And that may mean that this 4 hours chart will have to go up a little before coming down. Because my confidence here, because I know that this instrument is going to sell, but my strong confidence is that in the 4 hours chart, there is a change in direction. So because of this change in direction, this instrument will definitely sell properly. So whatever happens here doesn't really matter. Even if this breaks this high and goes up a little and stalls and moves up very well, fine. It may not really reach this point in the 4 hours chart. Okay, because a very huge movement here may just mean a small movement in the 4 hours chart. So by the time this breaks this high and then goes up to wherever it wants to get to before selling, I believe it's not going to pass there. So because it's not going to pass there, that means that the strength in the sell in the medium term will still be maintained. So generally, what is our prediction? Our prediction is that in the medium term, the US dollar is going to be very, very strong. People are going to buy the US dollar and sell other currencies. And also, in the near term, it may likely go on a long position if it breaks this particular price and stalls a little, it may go up. But that doesn't stop the fact that in the medium term, we are definitely going to have a sell. Okay, let's touch a little on the data fronts that are going to come out. The data that are going to come out. We have the data that are coming up. We have the Australian dollar. The Australians are going to release their interest rates. The GDP, that's the UK, they're going to release their GDP, their gross domestic products. The euro, the President Lagarde is going to talk on economic condition of the country and possible stance of monetary policy. Okay, and they're also going to release their CPI, that's Consumer Price Index. They're going to release their unemployment rates. So these things are the key data that are going to actually change this market. Now, we have the CHF, that's the Swiss franc, are going to release their Consumer Price Index. The JPY, that's the Japanese yen, they're going to release their unemployment rate. And the governor of the central bank is also going to make a speech on the economic condition and possible rate hike, or that possibly for some time they've not actually hiked their rate or reduced their rate. So we are going to have also the US NFP on Friday, and we're going to have the unemployment rate same day. So these are the things that we are actually going to rely on, which I believe this market, the 5 minutes chart is going to be reacting to these data, possibly going to be reacting to this data. So if they are going to be good, that means that it's going to be going up. But if they are going to be bad, I believe this market will be coming down. So depending on what is going to happen here, will give us a direction for this. So, but that will not alter the general direction that we're going to have here, that may just move up a little bit and come down. May move up a little bit and come down. So, and if you look at the previous data that came out in the economic calendar, you see that the US dollar, their GDP is very, very strong, had a very great jump, and presently is at 3.8, which is a very, very good target. That GDP is supposed to be from around 2, GDP should be from around 2 to 3%. Unemployment rate, their unemployment rate is at a low of 4.3%. Even though for some months, like 2-3 months now, it has been edging up by 0.1% each. Okay, that's the US unemployment has edged up a little for 2-3 months by 0.1% for each month. But that doesn't stop the fact that it is still at its low. At its low, 4.3, a very good low. And of course, unemployment rates of around 3.5 to 5% is very, very nice. Okay. And then we have the inflation, supposed to be around 2%. And we have an upward risk to inflation in the United States. They are around 2.9. Their inflation is around 2.9%, because for some months now it has been edging up, showing that there are pressures in inflation. Okay, so the prices of goods are actually having some kind of pressure somehow, and I believe that the policymakers, the monetary policymakers, are not going to really look down on what is happening in this inflation that is edging up, and this GDP that is very, very good. The GDP is very, very nice presently, and they are doing very, very well in some aspect of their economy. I'm not saying generally that they are doing well, but in some aspect of the economy, for that GDP to be around 3.8, they have a GDP of 3.8, which is very, very nice, very, very good. So for them to have that GDP have inflation of 2.9, it shows that the US dollar is going to be strong, because the chairman of the central bank, the Federal Reserve of the United States, said previously that because of the inflationary pressure, and they are actually looking at the data, the inflation data, to know if there are going to be more possible cuts this year in interest rate. So possibly, if the inflation remains that's upwards from that 2%, remains still around 2.9%, 3%, if it continues to hover around there, just know that the monetary policy is going to be a little bit restrictive. That is to say that the US dollar will keep its strength. So, and the only problem we are having here is that the unemployment rate is edging up a little. For 3 months now, it has been edging up. So that is the contrast here. But generally, just know that the US dollar will remain strong. Okay? Interest rate will not come down in a hurry. Wouldn't come down in a hurry. So that's this theory I've just explained now supports the fact that in the medium term, that this Euro USD will still come down. Even if it is going to go up, it's not going to go up so much, but the general direction will be what? Downwards. So with these little tips, I hope that you choose a definite direction for 2-3 weeks that you're going to trade on the Euro USD. The same thing you're going to trade in the Euro USD, trade same in GBP USD, trade same in AUD USD. All right, so we're going to take a break right now on this note.